This is why they say the human body is a lot more powerful than we give it
Now
credit.
loading. Episode
We've been
1.
bred as a society from birth to realize that the body can't do anything on its own, or it heals very slowly, or we need modern medicine to come in order to fix things. People don't understand that just thinking about healing and believing in it, the body will actually naturally start to heal. So, welcome.
So, thank you. It's good to be here.
Now, real quick, who the hell are you?
My name is Cristen Schoonover. I am a health coach with Herbalife. I'm also an end-of-the-life doula.
Ooh.
So I help hold space and create the peaceful environment that we all deserve to go out of this world in. I didn't ask for that, and quite frankly, I tried to run from that calling, and God kept, you got to do this. This is your job. This is your job. And
But hold on, this is interesting. You said you were running from it. Why would you run from it? Like, what did you experience to make you run from something? Not even walk away. Not even turn your back. Run.
Maybe that's why there was so much pain.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel worthy.
Oh.
I didn't feel worthy when in reality I'd already held the space for 3 people, and us as humans, we'll get in our own head and we'll question and we'll try to control, and that's another thing, like stripping the ego and like just letting go and surrendering. That still working on that, and that's a day-to-day thing, like, asking God, connecting to the Creator as I start my day. I'm like, dude, take away my ego. Whatever I need to do to help humanity today, allow me to do so, and allow me to address, to be able to witness, to see it.
Correct.
Because I'll be in a moment where something will happen. Let's say we're in the grocery store, and I'm always that voice or that body, that soul, that vessel, shall we say, that's there to help when everyone else is watching that person lay there have a heart attack. Like,
No, this is true. I can tell you one thing that I've learned with ego. So I used to always be super defensive. But if you notice that when you surround yourself, in society, everybody's always defensive because everybody has a little bit of ego and insecurity and so forth, or a lot of it. So I remember working specifically in corporate America where that was everybody's MO. And I was like, this is just unhealthy. Everybody's miserable. So I just started thinking, I was like, why do I always get defensive? It's because I was always harping on the messenger, which is people that I didn't like and so forth, instead of the message. Second, I found that out. I got rid of the ego, and I was like, it doesn't matter if this person that I don't like or I have this view of this person is saying something. What they're saying, does it apply to me? Holy cow, it actually does. Then humility took over. And then when humility took over, I actually gained more self-confidence. I was less insecure, and I was also less defensive.
wow.
It's
that's
interesting
good.
how letting things go for a little bit and just taking time to just process information can flip-flop your entire dynamic and what fuels you in life.
That's so good.
So now
That's
whenever I
so
see
good.
people that have that are very defensive or have a lot of ego, I take my time to tell them, I was like, breathe. You're not being attacked at all. This is the message. So let's take away the messenger. This is the message. Process this for a second. Now, what do you think of it? And then as you send them down that path, you can automatically see everything is starting to shed in real time. And I was like, there you go. How do you feel now? You feel enlightened? You feel lighter? Great. Now, this is what you're going to have to start to practice on your own, because you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So, like I said, it's all part of the human experience. And again, I'm like you, where I won't say that I ran from this path that I'm currently on in life. I didn't know what to do with it. So I was kind of shooting from the hip and traversing through fog.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do it. Then if stuff got to be a little bit difficult, I'd spend a lot more energy than I wanted to. Then I'll just pause and then I'll pivot and turn away from it. But then I was like, why am I also doing this? It's because I wasn't sound and secure in my message and my purpose. But now that I am sound in my message and in purpose, now it's much easier for me to effectively do it. I do it on a whim, like it's natural. No thought behind it. Even us right
and that
here.
humility part is so crucial. It's such a huge part of it. And I think I'm still standing in my way with it. I do believe that. And That mirror talk.
Oh, yes.
Is a huge part, and I'm still working on it. I'm still a work in progress with that mirror talk. But having the healthy disciplines that I've set myself up throughout the day and having a routine in the morning has really, really helped me.
Hold on, can we touch on that real quick? So you said two important things right now. Mirror talk, which is a discipline in and of itself, so we're going to dive into that. And then your morning routine, which is another set of disciplines. So it sounds like with the first thing that you wake up in the morning, it's discipline. And it's discipline for yourself. So Tom, let's talk about that. So let's start off with the mirror. How did that come to be, and what is your mirror talk like?
Oh, so we're getting into plant medicine with that. The answer to that. I had a retreat in Michigan, and I had experienced ayahuasca. Now, I'm Native American, so I've already felt grounded. I always smoked marijuana. I really enjoy an edible. And just being able to kind of open up and connect with the universe has always been really important to me. So when I went on the ayahuasca, I was taking it way more serious than most people. And I'm like, but I just went with it, and I just trusted the universe and Mother Nature, and it was a beautiful experience. The first night when we got done with like the ceremony we did as a group, there's about 26 of us, and we were done with the ceremony, and it was time to go and rest our body and get ready for the ceremony we were going to have the following night. And I was in the mirror, and it was such a bizarre, I had never been in these feelings. I'd never felt these feelings through my body, and I'm looking in the mirror. And when I looked in the mirror, I was able to literally look in my pupils for the first time and look past myself.
Right.
What? And ever since then, I'm going to go home and do it, actually. I can't wait. I'm serious. It's a whole vibe. Have you ever been there?
I have been there, and it's like inside my closet is a body-sized mirror. So there's been multiple. At first, I needed to be on some type of hallucinogen or psychedelic to do exactly what you did. But I've done it enough times and was intentful and purposeful that now I can do it in my own sound, clear mind.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful experience.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And it's a type of center that you really have to get yourself to.
You have to get used to it.
See yourself.
Right.
Like you really, once you're able to look in the mirror and see yourself without psychedelics, without any plant, anything, just be able to look in the mirror and say, oh, what's your name? There's Cristen, you know what I mean? And it's just that, to get there, everything else will start opening up for you.
Mm-hmm. All right, there we go.
So now, mirror talk.
So that's the mirror talk. Now, what are these disciplines and routines that you have in the morning that sets the precedence for your day?
The most important part, and I think it's been talked about and people don't take it serious, but the bed making. Like, I put my feet down, and I go and I go to the bathroom and release, and then come back to bed. But when I get straight out of bed, ready for my day, like, I'm making that bed. And I don't know. What's your opinion on that? Because that was helpful to segue into the
morning routines. So it's kind of like the 72 challenge. Did you hear about the 72 or the 75 challenge? Mm-hmm. Where it's like for 75 days straight, you have to work out twice a day, 45 minutes, read 1 hour of a book, eat clean. You can't deviate.
Is that what they were doing?
That's the 70, and you're supposed to do it 75 days in a row. And then if you miss one day, the entire thing restarts. And it's not more, you get the benefit of the physical changes and mental changes, but it's more so teaching you discipline. But it all starts with day one. So the reason why I like the whole bed challenge is because it's that first small thing that starts your journey that snowballs into something huge. So, like you said, getting out of bed and then making your bed the first thing day after day after day, then it becomes second nature. Then you build upon it and you add something else right afterwards. Then something else right afterwards. Next thing you know, mental. You have this set of disciplines and it's much easy. Now, what happens once you master something like that? When other things in the world are normal irritants for everybody else, it doesn't bother you. Because you are so dedicated, you are so rigor in what you're doing, that guess what? Easy, no problem. Mm-hmm. That's another reason why people say they like working out in the morning, because if you're working in the morning, that's the hardest thing you got to do throughout your day. So everything else that happens, what do you care?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it too in words. Wow.
So same thing with me. Now I'm not going to lie. There are days where I spring up out of bed. Not that it's so forth that I like overslept or something, but the second I hit the ground, life happens, and then I go directly into life. But subconsciously, so I already have a feeling that something's misplaced. It's because I didn't make my bed. So my inner me knows that I skipped that step, and it's like, no, 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 no. Remember, let's rein it back in. You cannot successfully do for others unless you successfully do for yourself first. So even if life happens, you owe it to yourself to make that bed the very first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Then you get to it.
Well, and here's the thing too. The mindset that I got once I started with these daily disciplines is I owe it to my creator. That's a whole nother story. But I overdosed some years ago. It's a great story to share with you guys one day. And when I came back and like really came back and like realized that I almost died and like this life is truly a gift. My life is truly a gift. It was like, okay, how can I repay the creator for allowing me to continue to live here? Mm-hmm. And it was like each day I kept doing more and more for the creator until I was like, and just surrendered.
Mm-hmm. And literally, and from that point in your life to now, what were the biggest and most drastic changes that you have gone through? Because I'm telling you, you're a bright light. I met you now when you're walking on your path. So I was already very impressed. You had a bright, warm light, and our conversations have always been beautiful. But how much growth happened since then?
Unmeasurable. I feel as though, and I'm still learning, and you know, this is for the next generation and the next generation, not only from my family, but you have to think when we're in this human experience, if I'm driving and I'm at a stoplight, that person in the car next to me is getting some kind of energy impact from me. Like how I carry myself is so crucial for the change in this world. And then I had to separate myself from that pressure. I'm like, okay, you're not here. I'm not saving the world, but I'm playing my part in the world. And I don't want to discredit that person that's sitting next to me at the stoplight, nor do I want my future kids. You know what I mean? So it's got to be like, you're doing it selfishly, and
it's a lot, isn't it?
Ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, but it feels so good.
And we're powerful. So it's like the butterfly effect. Everything that we think is small and mundane in our life has a lasting ripple effect everywhere. Now, back to the whole car thing. I do love that because there was a point in my life where I was spending 2, 3, 4, 5 hours on the road a day. And I can tell you, the road ragers used to affect me. When I saw it, it irritated me. Then there was the individuals that you see them jamming in the car, dancing and everything, put a huge smile on my face. And suddenly, like it doesn't matter if I'm in a bad mood. The second I saw them and I got that energy from them, it made me feel just like, it made me feel great. They shared their energy.
So good.
So, and then there's a lot of other people like I don't want to say the do-gooders, the one who's like, okay, when there's a yellow light, instead of speeding through, they come to a stop before it even turns red. It's irritating, but I was like, okay.
Whoa, that just rose something in me. I got
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, now I was going to say, I can deduce a lot about somebody's character just by the way that they drive.
Oh, yeah.
You spend enough time on the road, you understand what it's like.
Oh, yeah, I'm a driver,
thing.
baby. Listen, I used to commute from Kansas to here a lot. So, yeah.
Kansas?
And then we did Florida trips. Yeah, I used to do.
How long was that drive?
22 hours that drive is.
Ooh.
Now, you just struck something in me. My soul rose up. Let me get that thought back.
All right.
It was the transverse of energy. Like, it's crazy. Like, body language, too. Like, sitting at my car, and I remember, this is good. Mm-hmm. So, when I wrecked my car I had for 10 years, the drug dealer ran into it and totaled it. He literally was going so fast. My car was parked. He projected it 100 feet. And he knocked the back axle of my tires were left where my car was parked, and my car was 100. Not 100. How much is a football field?
I'm actually not too sure.
Yards, 100 yards.
Yeah, 100 yards. Okay, all right.
100 yards the car went. Anyway, he was a drug dealer. This is in Kansas. Oh my goodness. He was a drug dealer and he ended up hiding some drugs in the bushes. Well, the neighbor saw it and told me. So then I went on to blackmail him because he didn't have insurance. Oh, it was a whole thing. I got some money out of him though.
Okay, good. Good.
But anyway, so the car got wrecked. I had tinted windows in that car. And so I got my little blue Honda that I have now, and I don't have tint in it. And that was like the first thing I was going to do when I bought this car is get tint. And God called me. This is before any of the journey with the plant medicine or any of it. And I was just told, you got to keep that tint off the car so you can get comfortable with people looking at you. And I'm sitting here today shaking and my hands are sweaty. Like, this not so much because Alex is a good friend of mine and I'm grateful. But seriously, like, being behind the camera made me uncomfortable. Like,
look at you glowing, all in your natural beauty right now.
Thank you. But I think I just had to I'm still working. Like, I do want to be seen. I want to be seen because I have something that could help people, my voice. So, and that's something like coming from abuse and the type of upbringing that I had. Like, I never was heard in my household. I grew up with an abusive alcoholic father and a drug addict mother. So they weren't listening to me, you know? Shut up, Cristen. Go do what you got to do. Because I want, abuse. They just wanted to be numb. And for whatever reason, from what their childhood, they're bringing on. So you see, the work is so crucial.
Generational.
It's so crucial.
It just goes down the line.
Yeah.
Right. So when did you find your inner voice and confidence?
There's so many courageous moments through the walk.
Ooh, that's powerful.
There's so many courageous moments where it just kept adding up,
Well, what was a pivotal point that you remember?
I got it. I was turning 30, and I wanted to go skydiving. And I was it was kind of like a dangerous thought to where it was like, okay, let's see if God's going to take me off. And so I invited 120 people. 3 people put down payments down. Nobody showed up. They were all too scared. So here I go, and I'm in the plane, and I'm attached to this guy named Muff, and I'm joking with him. He's a muff diver. He was so cool. He was so cool. He was the coolest dude. It was a place, I thought I was wearing the hoodie. Garden State skydiving, if you're in Jersey and want to go. They're great. It's a couple. They live for it. They go all around the world. Furthermore, I'm sitting there attached to Muff in this cheap biplane. And we're ascending. And I'm thinking, and I'm just really staying calm and just really seeing what it is that the universe is going to give me. And I jumped on 2, so that's when you knew I wasn't scared to die. Woo!
Now, hold on. Did you jump on 2? Or did
I
it count on?
jumped on 2!
Okay.
Ah!
Right. Good.
And as soon as if any of you have skydived, you have to get your breath. And once I got my breath and I could and then you have to get to a point. Have you been skydiving?
No,
Okay.
Too large. But now that I'm on my journey of
good.
losing, when I get to that weight limit, 100%.
Oh my
I want to
gosh.
get certified and get my pilot's license, but that's a whole other conversation.
Oh, I can't wait to hear that
Oh
conversation.
yeah, I want it all.
Yeah, I know, me too. So you have to get to a point where you catch your breath. And then it's okay, now you're being and you're in existence. I'm really learning how important it is to accept a moment. I think that's in the human experience we struggle with, being okay in whatever moment happens, because you can't control what's around you no matter what. So once I got my breath and I was okay and I was free falling, I'm facing the earth, and I'm only in Jersey. It wasn't any kind of cool view. No disrespect to you Jersey people. And I'm looking down and I'm oh my gosh, Mother Earth is so beautiful. And then I go, oh my gosh, I live here. And in that moment, it was like a negotiation with God saying, okay, now I'm going to surrender. And he also told me, you live here with tons of people. You need to be more compassionate. So when I got my feet back on the earth, I was like, how do I be compassionate? And then I was like, and that's when like the pain started immersing from my journey in my back, because I was running from the things that God wanted me to do. And everything happens and unfolds the way it should, but compassionate and people are now my thing. When I, to lay this on the table, I was a dancer, not the ballerina kind, for 10 years. I traveled all around the United States, and I made really bad choices. I mean, yeah. So to come into this like compassionate, loving, gentle, like Mother Earth type mindset, Cristen, I'm so grateful. I am.
That's impressive, because one of your most pivotal moments in life was your realization of being compassionate for others. That's a selfless act. So to come into your own based on a selfless idea, this is how you know that that was the right thing for you at that moment. So it makes perfect sense. And then now, years later, meeting you and understanding what you do and why you do it, like it all makes sense now, full circle. So, yay, friend, that's what I'm talking about. I'm here for that.
I'm happy to be here.
Right. Now, this whole skydiving thing, outside of the self-realization, how was it? Because when you free fall, it's for like 2 or 3 minutes. How long is it?
Time is an illusion. Time is an illusion.
Oof, that's powerful. Yes, correct.
Just got the chills.
Yes. So how was the feeling when you were like diving the entire time? How long did it take you to like get a grasp of, okay, I'm not dying, and then this is a beautiful experience?
No, once I got that breath, the okay, I'm not dying thing was like pivotal. It was like in a moment. Because at that point, then nothing matters. So ask your question again.
No, it was like, just how long did it take you to come to that realization? But you said it was almost instant.
Yeah, and that just gets me clear. Like this life shouldn't be as unnatural and as uncomfortable as it has been led to, and I don't think God really intended for it to be this way. But really coming in to like center itself, and I think that's why I got there in that moment of skydiving and jumping out of the plane so quick. It was because I just was like, okay, God, here's my life. So does that answer your question?
No, it does. Definitely does. What made you want to skydive anyways?
Because I was like, do you want me here, God? Like, what? And I was like so like ready to just I just want to experience everything in life. So I think that was it too.
Actually, to piggyback over that, that's one of the things where it was like, I wanted to skydive. So a lot of the fears or reservations that people as a whole have, I was like, no, I don't want to live in fear. No. So I was like, if it scares you, then I want to do it. So it was like going to space. My ultimate goal is going to space. I know I made it, and my inner child is going to be the most happiest when I actually make it to space. Shout out Elon. Don't worry, I'm about to be SpaceX everything.
But there's more than just the moon out there.
Oh, 100%. Oh, that's a whole other conversation and topic. Yes, but I agree with you on that. So that, skydiving, I want to get my pilot's license. Like, I've always had a fascination with flying. Plus, my whole goal is to have my own small jets, private jets or whatever. And I was like, I want to be able to go wherever I want to go. Pilots and all that have it when I don't want to, but I want to be able to do it on my own.
Right.
It's another thing. I've never been big on allowing somebody else to have the wheels of anything in my life.
I hear that.
You see? Yeah.
I remember as a kid, listen, my parents, they made me travel from Kansas to PA. When I was 6 years old, I was on my own going and traveling to see mom and dad. And so I became best friends with the airline stewardess and the pilots.
Okay.
And I thought to myself as a child, what if that guy doesn't know what he's doing in one moment? I mean, as a child. And so I think it's like a human instinct that we want to be that person. Like, But I think so many people just don't have the courage that we might.
They don't.
I just don't.
That's why I don't like public transportation. I refuse to use public transportation.
I'm on someone else's
Buses,
time.
yes, this. I'm like, no. I don't know if you had a rough day. Somebody cheated on you. You're behind on bills. I don't know if you just got a mental or health diagnosis and you want to end it all. I was like, and when you see the amount of crazy things that happen, I was like, this can pop off anytime. But here, this is what it's like to be a genuine person.
Yeah.
So because I'm always genuine, it doesn't matter what frame of mind or state of mind that somebody is in. Once I have conversation with them, then I control their flow of energy because I am now sharing mine. And mine is always a bright, bubbly one.
Ooh.
So obviously, I come from a family of empaths. Now, mind you, majority of the empaths in my family are women, but mostly women raised me. Shout out to my pops, very influential male figure. Outside of him, it was always women. So, while I have not been able to harness that empathy energy as effectively and efficiently as the women and like my mother in my life, I still can feel and read other people. So before I had to put in a lot of effort to try to help sway people, change them, or elevate them if they were going through something, now it just happens natural. So every time I get into an Uber, I do this, I do that. It's just like, it's infectious. So every time I see somebody, I know they're going through something because you can read it or feel it. Even when people smile, because they always say a lot of people that have like deep depression and so forth, they do a great job of masking it. It's like, great, but their energy is off and you'll be able to feel it. Like you can feel through the smile and everything else. Extend some type of courtesy to them, automatically flips a switch. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like even, I love flight attendants because a lot of times flight attendants, you can tell they might be agitated. This is like their third leg of their trip or this or that and everything else. It's like the right body language, the right words and so forth drastically changes everything. And actually, I know they're constantly coming back to me. Hey, do you need anything? I know they do it to a lot of people, but no, specifically come to me.
Same though.
And it was like, all right, I want like a snack or something. Here's 2-3 extra ones.
Yeah.
Or they say thank you just for being bright and bubbly today.
And I feel like the universe will open that up once you're doing your due diligence of what we're supposed to be doing as
ain't
humans.
that the truth? Correct.
So, can we talk about that? Because
our purpose as humans? What were you going to say? Because our purpose as humans is...
What do you think? What do you think? Yeah.
As far as one of the unknown questions that have always been playing in my mind that I'm seeking an answer, this is one where I've never come to a conclusion, but I can tell you where I'm at now, where I evolved now. I think it's our job as humans that we understand that this is an experience that we're supposed to make the best of it.
Yeah.
The way we were created, the way our mind works, the fact that we have free will and intellect to understand and comprehend, that seems like a gift that we should not squander. So, as of right now, what is in our power? So again, you don't worry about things that are outside of your power. You worry about things that's inside of your power. And what you and I do is within our power. So no matter what, I know that this experience that we're going through, the more good I do for myself, the more love I show for myself, then I'm able to do it for others, makes me feel fulfilled.
And
so
it
that's
helps
the purpose.
for the person that you're helping to be fulfilled. Like
Correct.
I noticed when I started spending my money to get my nails done and to go get a massage.
Ooh, I need to get mine done tomorrow.
We need to be doing the massage thing too once a month, and just like all the self-care, that's helping the person sitting next to you too. So I just want that to be very it's imperative.
And I also do not believe that when we die, nothing happens. Energy can't be destroyed. Energy just transfers.
I love this conversation.
So what happens? I do not know. Do I believe in a heaven and hell? No, I don't believe in heaven and hell. I don't believe there's somewhere that I'm going to go to a fiery pit and die forever.
I need to be careful with what I...
Oh, no. This is a free forum. Freedom of speech.
Relinquish.
Yeah, I got it. Exercise your rights as a human, not from this country with fictitious laws.
Wait, can we go back to that? Because I have a spiritual mentor, and he's teaching me and I'm really trying to navigate. Well, first I'm balancing masculine and feminine energy right now, so that's been super huge because that's why this world is crazy. Let me tell you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Look at the shift now. Now men are more feminine and women are more masculine.
That's okay.
What the fuck?
No, but that's okay. It's okay. If nobody told you, it's okay.
How is that okay? This is where you and I differ. How is men becoming more feminine and women becoming more masculine okay?
Uh, mm, there needs to be a balance,
Correct.
but I don't know because I have.
No, go on. Speak your mind.
Can we?
All right, fine. We don't want to get canceled today, so we'll come back to this topic later on. All right, so what were you going to say before that?
No, but okay. So masculine and feminine, we're balancing the energies there. Doggone it. What was the thought?
Take your time.
Yeah, that one's huge though. No, now I want to dig into it though and get
Okay.
We gotta be uncomfortable to grow.
Now we're back to potentially being canceled. So let me say my point first. So it's not even about the role, the history of the roles. Men go to war. Women just procreate and take care of the house.
Women can make money too.
Right, but here's the thing. That's a societal imprint.
Absolutely.
Because we're in a society where it's like, you think from an evolutionary standpoint or creation standpoint of what we are, that it was all for the combination of going to work for some bank or something to make a fictitious paper dollar to the church. No, that is a society created thing.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to say. Like, my spiritual teacher has been like, we need to be okay with just like sitting in this chair still. Like, nobody can just sit still because of how the government has you guys running in this 9-to-5 rat race.
Correct. It's an ongoing thing. The anxiety, the fear, the everything, that keeps people energized and moving on the wheel to then power the quote-unquote matrix.
It's so sad.
It is.
So, okay, you want to get into masculine and feminine. I'm seeing what you're saying. I'm seeing.
So it's deeper than what society. I'm removing society in that.
And did you guys hear, oh my gosh, I have to say this and lay this on the table. There was a study done and there was like 10, I don't know how many there were, but there was like 10 frogs in this pool of water, the water that they're feeding Americans, and it disintegrated their dicks and created the feminine, whatever.
Yeah. No, not hermaphrodites, sex change.
Yeah.
Fluoride actually slowly poisons and calcifies your pineal gland, and fluoride is in all our water here. There's many things that people take as a norm. And hold on, let's go down this rabbit hole real quick, and then we can jump back in because we notice everything is a circle. The government controls all pharmaceuticals, corporations control the government and so forth. So when you go to a supermarket, you buy those loaves of bread. We don't know when those loaves of bread was created. We know one thing, when we bring it home and put it on ourselves, 3 months later, for some reason, it's still edible. That's not how. You go to a real bakery, the bread is hard in 3 days and it's moldy in 5 days. Everything in the supermarket, high fructose corn syrup and everything is to make you sick. Once you're sick, what happens? Once you're sick, you don't have the self-confidence to know about or anything to take care of yourself, to question things. So then you go to the doctor. What does the doctor do? He doesn't fix the ailment and tell you got to watch what you eat or be healthy. Here's this pill to do this pill to do this pill to do this. Then that feeds into the pharmaceuticals, they get rich and so forth. And the government profits from all of this. And it's the vicious circle. Even when you go to school.
The prison system, throw that in there too.
Prison system. But even our educational system, public education. The government is in charge of public education. What did they do? The education is, come on now, Christopher Columbus was a savior. Christopher Columbus was the savior. The pilgrims came over here to break bread. Everything was hunky-dory. And then even how it paints George Washington and everything else, it's in a positive light.
You know I'm Native American Native.
So, correct. So you see, it's like, even the educational system is to stop you from thinking in free will. Do what you're told. Sit still. X1. Humans were not meant to sit down for 8 hours to just study.
No.
This is why people like me, where they classified or they created something called ADHD.
Yeah, talk about it. What's your...
So number one, ADHD. Let's use the terminology that they created around it. To me, it's a superpower. I can never sit still. It's a fucking superpower. I question everything. I research everything.
Me too.
I don't just yes ma'am, no ma'am. It's not in my system.
If you got words of wisdom, like how did you get it? Where did you get it? How long did you study
Question
it?
everything. And guess what they told us when we were younger? We're misbehaving. So now we got to shut up and go to detention. Or we get a lower grade. Or you know what? Here's a pill to satiate you, or here's a pill to tone you down, so this way you're tolerable and you fall in line. Because what happens, and even with me, when I was growing up, I was a kid that questioned everything. They removed me from the seating with the kids and I had to go in the corner with the cubicle. Nobody else had that. because I was disrupting the flow. I was questioning. They don't want free thinking. They don't want critical thinking. They don't want free thinking. So now as an adult, I look back, I was like, holy shit. My entire life, they always told me, oh, and then of course, when I used to question things like, with your train of thought, you're never going to become anything in life.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of my favorite things. Oh my God, the amount of shit. And guess what? I'm going to brag now and say that every single teacher that I've ever had, I'm doing umpteenth time better than every single one of them. It's a beautiful thing. And a third of the time.
And I have way less stress than you do.
Way less stress.
This is what peace looks like.
Correct. But this is why it was like all of these classifications and so forth that they're giving kids and keeping them in boxes and so forth. But again, because of all of that, this is why I think this shift in masculine and feminine energy is a negative thing right now. Now there's kids at wanting to be foxes. Now they don't want to have a gender. Like all of this stuff is mental illness. Physically, if you're born with a penis and balls.
What is the purpose of why our Creator put you on Earth? That should be everyone's focus point.
They're removing that. So hold on. There's multiple things. There's the actual reason why we're created and what our existence is. Then there's organized religion, which is a form of enslavement. Then there's now this, I don't want to call it leftist or liberal, well, this thing where you can choose whatever you want, but it's all without purpose or merit. It's all to create confusion. So what happens before? Before the internet came around, they used to control everybody with books and so forth. That's why all the books were curated by one of the different. Come on now, when we're in public schooling, remember all the history books we had? The Egyptians were white. They were depicted as white people. Egyptians were never white, and they're not white today. Again, now the internet came around. Flow of information is of abundance. Guess what happens? Misconstrued. Now we're like, oh, this is real history. This is so we're less confused and we're awakening. So now that there's a free flow of information, this isn't a communist country, so they're not going to shut it down and regulate it like other countries out in the West or the Far East countries or whatever. Anyways, with that being said, so if there's a free flow of information, there's a mass awakening. How do you create confusion now? You create confusion with the new generation, public school system and so forth. They're in charge of all of that. So now they start telling kids, hey, you don't feel like you're a girl. You don't feel like a girl, you feel like a boy? Okay, would you like a sex change? Easy, we'll do it. We'll start hormone therapy. And now parents don't have to sign off on it. So now they're creating a generation of confusion to control. That's all it is. Every single power that be is in business to control. Yeah. They already have the money. So what happens when you have infinite money? Power, influence, and control. Okay. None of this is healthy. It's all a mental illness. It is a purposely spreaded mental illness.
Wow, that puts me even more urgency in what I do.
So what's your take on it?
And then like, well, okay, so I'm like, I've been meditating on this for 2 years. Like, how can I at least like get some people to be more mindful of what they're consuming? Because that's what it all starts with.
Food is a huge part.
If I could financially, I'm working so hard right now so that I can have my own garden in my backyard and like have the time to just monitor that so that I don't have to have so many worries. Because right now I'm so uncomfortable going to the store to get my groceries. I am.
Can I go to the supermarket? I go crazy.
So much that last year for like 6 months, God had me on like this sabbatical where like I couldn't stomach food because I was so passionate about what's going on in our food system. And then I went through the whole pharmaceutical they were trying to put me on the drugs and I wasn't taking it. Oh yeah, this is what I live for.
And the government allows it.
I love your eyesight, your sight through it. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we went to go to the movies, and it was like, okay, let's get a snack to go to the movies. So obviously, we were going to be unhealthy, because we're aware of it, but every now and then, we still dabble because whatever.
Yeah.
We went to Chick-fil-A to get a sandwich from them. When I tell you that we started talking about, oh, did you hear about the ingredients and how it makes it addictive and everything, it was just like, yes. So we went to the Chick-fil-A sandwich, looked at the ingredient panel, and pressed the download. I want everybody to go to either Chick-fil-A's website or download the app, click on any single one of their foods, go to the ingredient tab and press the down arrow and watch how it pops up. The list of ingredients in the chicken sandwich is this long. It's a chicken fucking sandwich. It's supposed to have chicken, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, and a bun. That's 5 ingredients, no sauces. What the hell is that list of ingredients
And
this
that's
large?
the thing. If there's anything more than like 3 or 4 ingredients, I put it right back
Yeah,
down.
put it back.
If it's not getting 100% grass fed, I'm putting it right down. You know, like these are things that you need to think about. The milk. Alex sees me going to buy my raw milk. I'm not playing
Directly
with
from the
y'all.
Amish. Yes.
I'm not playing with it. Watch that milk, boy.
But so, how about this? So, we brought up the problem about the food and how it is so detrimental and it is a form of control.
But
with
coming
the people.
up, let's talk about the government. Like that.
Well, hold on. Not even that first.
Woo.
How we have to. So, my biggest thing is whenever I talk about a problem, I always have to present solutions.
Yeah.
What are solutions for people to do research, to find healthy food, and to get themselves out of this sickness?
First and foremost, it's natural for me to just go and think like source, like Whole Foods is what we need to focus on. Then again, looking at the ingredients and just like educating yourself. Stop putting stuff in your body that isn't for your body. And once I got into to the mindfulness of that, the whole game will change for you.
Mm-hmm. So I always like to tell people, part of my spiel with Pure Shaka and just work and everything like that is that, number one, do not go to a regular grocery store. And I'm going to name names. Acme, Super Fresh, ShopRite, Publix. No, it's like, people are like, oh, well, when I go there, they always have great discounts. Like, no, it's a tactic. It's marketing. They're the devil. If people want to talk about real devil on earth, that's one of the real devils on earth.
Devil is only on earth.
Good. So I was like, instead, go to other places. So a lot of my raw meats and so forth, poultry, everything
where
like
do you get
that.
them
Costco or butcher.
Costco.
The rotisserie chickens, suspect, because the way they pump them out, they have their own farms and everything. So I deviate away from that. But then the bovine and everything else, that is a safer route than definitely at your local supermarket. Mm-hmm. But if you can find a butcher or find actual farms and get it directly from them, that will save a lot. And all it is a simple Google search. Outside of that, go to places like Aldi. Aldi isn't an American-owned company. Aldi is a European-owned company. Aldi is actually great quality, giving everything. Not everything in there is super healthy, but again, this is like you said, educate and empower. Know what you're actually consuming, read the ingredient labels, and then know what you're consuming. Trader Joe's. I am a big fan of Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's makes, let me pick my word. Trader Joe's does make healthier food than the average supermarket. And I'm naming these companies because they're still of abundance. They're everywhere. So every single area where there is a large population of people, you will find one of these businesses, and it's a fantastic alternative. Outside of that, if you want fresh fruit and so forth, go to a local farm. Yeah. I wouldn't even say go to an Amish because we're in this area, so we're kind of spoiled with them. Yeah. Go to a local farm. Outside of that, there are companies in America, especially down in Florida and so forth, that you can buy real organic exotic fruits and vegetables, and they will ship it to you. Do that, because the shit you're buying from the supermarket, real fruit doesn't look like that. Real fruit isn't as tasteless as that. So I'm Greek and Jamaican. When I go to both countries, even outside of them, when I go to anywhere in the Caribbean, everything I eat is filled with so much. You don't need seasoning. I can pick a damn pepper out the ground and eat it, and that pepper is so juicy and flavorful. Tomatoes, lettuce, and let me not even talk about the fruits. Like here, these GMO bananas that's this long and that thick and taste like nothing. Real bananas are this big and they still have seeds in there. And the flavor is 10 times better. Not only that, when you go to even Europe and then you have their pasta, pizzas, and everything else, and potatoes, whatever those dishes are, starch heavy. When you eat it, you don't feel like you have itis. You don't feel like you have to go down for a nap. You feel energized. There's no bloat. You eat anything here?
This is incredible. Yeah.
Why is that? It's poison.
And they don't even know it is the thing. And it's so funny because last winter I stepped into being a health coach for Herbalife, and I was like skeptical. Do these products really, is this the real deal? Should I even be repping them? Because I don't want to rep nothing unless it's the real deal. You know, I want to do this life as best as I can, and I'm not going to waste any more time than I've already wasted. So last winter I was really I was shedding what I had experienced with the ayahuasca and going and venturing into there. And I couldn't stomach food. I couldn't even put it up to my nose because of this, because I started doing my research. As much as I was putting myself through the agony of doing the research and seeing these farms with 60,000 cows in a field, just shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, and they're picking up the cows with the crane, and you can imagine what is going through their blood with that fear. And all the other cows are just looking up at it, and I'm like, I'm telling you, it lasted, I say 6 months, but it probably lasted altogether like a year, where I just couldn't eat food, and I was just eating protein shakes. The Herbalife protein shakes sustained me, along with coconut water.
Coconut water, that's a life hack.
Coconut water is a life hack. Make
Yes.
sure it's 100% coconut.
Oh, coconut oil in general, it's good for everything. You can cook with it. You can use it as a topical. It's phenomenal for lube. Not only that, coconut oil, when you consume it, whatever you consume along with it, it aids in the absorption. So that's why even for us in our tinctures and so forth, there's MCT. MCT is organic coconut oil, just because, again, it aids with the absorption of the CBD, the THC, and everything else. So yeah, coconut oil is also a life hack. But I also wouldn't even trust half the coconuts that you get in this country, because I was like, where the fuck were you grown?
Yeah, right.
And then even when you look at it and you taste it, and you're like, this doesn't taste like the coconut where it comes from natively. I was like, so what is this? How did you produce
Then you've
this?
got other stuff. It just needs to be 100% coconut. That's it. And it is pricey, but it's worth it. And this is the reason that I bonded so tight with you, because you're doing the research in a different form than I'm doing with all of this. And I'm just, to collab and create this space, I'm just so happy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really happy, and I'm so happy for you to do the work and watch you grow.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So now what's next for you? For the rest of this year, 2024, because right now we're in March. So this is March 2024. What is your goals for this year? What are you trying to accomplish?
You either do or you don't. There's no trying, is what I believe. So we have a free workout for the community that we're providing Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. in the Delaware County area out of Aston. Not sure on location yet, but that starts the beginning of April. Then I'm signing up for retreats. And
What type of retreats?
I don't know that I'm going to open up to the medicine again quite yet, but just I want to do feminine. So the next two that I have booked we're doing is to bring out my feminine energy.
Okay.
So, yeah.
You want to come back in and let us know what that was like?
Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, how about your impact for the community?
I continue. We do a corporate event once a month, and I stand on stage and just share that I'm human and I'm doing this, and what you consume is super crucial. So spreading that message. Also, spreading the awareness of mobility. Alex is going to teach me yoga, you guys.
Oh my God, yoga solves so many of people's
never done it.
ailments. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Joint health is important. The amount of people that shy away from it makes no sense. And it's free. If you have the internet, you have a smart device, and you're able to use YouTube, there's no reason why you shouldn't either type in yoga for beginners and just find somebody that you really like and just go with their flow, or go to Pure Shaka, go to our page, and then follow along with all the YouTube content that's posted there. I said YouTube, yoga content that's posted there. But all the stuff is free, and it should be a daily thing.
Excuse me.
Oh, you're good.
No, I do stretches in the morning. I've never learned the yoga practice, so yeah,
Okay.
I will start that.
We're probably going to record that as well, so if so, we'll put a link somewhere so this way you guys can click in and see how she does, all right?
Ding.
Well, either way, thank you so much for doing this today, love.
Yeah,
come
love
here. I'm
you.
so proud of you. So we will keep the growth on, and then we're also going to put where people can follow you and so forth. Because now, do you do anything virtual or everything is in person?
I would like to create, I've been saying this the last month, so let's just say that I'm going to create a space to where we can do just a simple stretch.
Okay.
Maybe I'll learn yoga and implement some things from there too, so that'll be fun. So yeah, I'm gonna sit and meditate on that idea once a week on Zoom. Soon enough, we'll have something available to where we'll work on mobility together in the comfort of our own homes.
That part. All right. Well, otherwise, guys, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, all right?